Well, I think, Catherine, when we talk about the subject matter that we've discussed for most of the day, leveraging these relationships that we have, we're basically talking about bridging the gap. In this process, we start with the offender, in this case inside our institutions. We in correctional industries try to provide those soft skills and hard skills that are transferable to allow them to get employment upon release. We work on cognitive skills, on apprenticeship programs, on providing them with certifications that will assist them in this effort. And then we pass them on to the workforce organizations who are out there trying to actively contact those employers, continue with those soft skill training processes, and place them in positions with the help of community organizations that are also out there providing housing, providing clothing, providing treatment programs for these individuals, providing them counseling that they need. And then, of course, the employer, at the end of this process, hopefully that will culminate in a successful placement into a job opportunity, a marketable job opportunity out there in the community. I think in most cases you'll see that all those components do a fantastic job in their particular areas of expertise working independently. I think what we're talking about today is learning to work interdependently, getting out of those silos that we traditionally have stayed in, and making this a continuum of effort in order to properly place these individuals back into the community successfully.
And although every correctional industry is going to have different strengths, some just provide primarily the work skills, but some of them, as you mentioned, maybe your programs, correctional industry programs, also provide those cognitive skills and some of those other soft skills. Some don't, so that's maybe not their strength, and they get that from a partner.
That is exactly correct.
Well, Catherine, specifically what we're referring to is employers in the community.
Yes.
Key to this effort. Certainly nonprofits such as the Urban League. We have been very fortunate in Clark County that they have been able to provide a total wraparound service for ex-offenders, which has been very, very key to this process. Community and faith-based organizations like Joe, and government agencies, and even non-traditional efforts through labor unions.
Okay. Well, now that you mentioned this partnering with laborers, let's take a listen to the Maryland Secretary of Labor, who talks about this critical partnership with employers and the advantages of those partnerships as well.
Construction companies, large businesses, small businesses have tapped into this remarkably talented pool of potential employees, and they've done it successfully. Employing ex-offenders is a win-win situation for employers and for communities, because we have 14,000 coming home every year to various communities across this state. It behooves employers to make sure that they can tap into a market that often includes people that live within a mile or so of their location. It is a great target market for employers in Maryland. Maryland has put in place a series of tax credits to encourage employers to hire ex-offenders, and they're very easy to use. We'll provide that economic incentive for you to employ ex-offenders, and I guarantee you that once you do so, number one, you'll find that these workers are phenomenal workers, and then to add a little cherry to the top, you're getting this tax credit. So it's win-win for everybody. It makes business sense to hire ex-offenders.
Well, and it makes business sense to work on those partnerships and those relationships. With a couple of minutes that we have remaining, Joe, talk to us about what you've seen grow out of just relationships where you bring people to the table, like policymakers. You have an example of an Orlando initiative that no doubt was planted, the seed was planted by bringing community people, county commissioners, government officials to the table just to be part of the discussion. Talk about the Orlando initiative.
That's correct. It's a very exciting initiative that's taking place in Orlando. The city of Orlando has what they call the Orlando Blueprint, and that's related to the building of 3 venues in Orlando, the renovation of the Citrus Bowl, building a performing arts center, and I believe a new stadium for the Orlando Magic. And in that blueprint, it requires that any construction company that gets those contracts must hire people who are in transition from prison and put them to work on those work sites. And so that's a tremendous opportunity for the corrections industry in Florida, with the PRIDE program that they call it, to actually work with the city of Orlando, to work with those construction companies, and to work with faith-based and community organizations in that city to actually place people to work on a major construction project.
And no doubt when these people got together in the first place, they all knew that they had a common interest in making this happen.
Absolutely. Orlando had, a couple of years ago, had a reentry task force that included people from the mayor's office, from government agencies, from faith-based and community organizations, as well as community leaders. And they identified this as a major issue that they wanted to address, was actually putting people to work who are released from prison.